Hello, and welcome back to the UK-inspired rail network. And I've just noticed I can do this. I've selected that random dude in a shirt, and I can't use my mouse. It's a random dude in a shirt standing at the platform, and I've selected him, and it tells you at the bottom where he's going. And I've never done this, and we're about to get on the train, and I want to see what happens when we get on the train. I'm assuming we can follow him all the way to his destination. Whether that holds up or not, we'll see. We're currently at Bedford St John's station, and I was just hanging around. I was taking a look at my build from last week, and I thought I'd have a look. Okay, we've got on the train. I think we've got on the train. I think it's not that guy left behind. I hope he hasn't been left behind. Are we going? Are we going to go? Are we going with the train, or are we going to stay? Are we going? We're not going anywhere. So, this is kind of the area where we'll be looking to put Leicester. I was thinking today what I want to do is mark out the area, build the station, because it's got quite a few platforms and quite a few sort of switches and junctions, and it's got some nice sidings on it. It's got some sidings beyond it as well. It's got some really interesting sort of lines that wrap around it as well. So we're going to add those. But I'm sort of looking because, like, so... How can I explain this? So we've got, obviously, Wellingborough down there that we built a couple of episodes ago. We've got Nuneaton here. Now, Leicester, if we're... Let's have a look. Let's get my orientation right. Bear with me. Nuneaton is... Where have you gone? There you are. So Leicester, there's Nuneaton. I'm thinking to put Leicester around about here. Next to this mountain. Maybe a little... Maybe here, actually. Because it does... It's kind of a cross, but it does come up a little bit. And I'd like to put in maybe Hinckley in between. I don't think we'll get both stations. I think the other station is Narborough. And then what we have is then that comes in. Actually, we need to go a little bit higher. Maybe about here. I'm lying. About here. Because we need to come up. It's coming up a little bit. Then we join up with the Midland Main Line and then come up like this. And then the other line kind of drifts off this way. Actually, we might even have to get a bit closer, maybe about here, because we've got to drift over that way. We come down. Coming out of Leicester, we have another switch that goes off that way. We have, and we're coming out to north of Leicester, we have one coming out this way. That also goes over to, where does that go over? Burton-on-Trent. Have we done any of that? I can't remember if we've done any of that. We'll have to sort that out at a later date. I can't remember what links up over here either. No, we haven't got that high. We haven't got that high. So that doesn't really matter. They could just disappear off and we'll do some turnbacks. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So I'm thinking Leicester here because then we can fit in enough and we got enough to sort of bend this way a little bit as we go down towards Wellingborough and what else? Kettering. Then we've got the Glendon South Junction. We have the Glen... What's that? We've got another junction here somewhere. Yeah, the Leicester line, the central curve junction north, whatever that is. We've got a big junction there as well. We've got to put in. So we've got to put in a few different junctions south of Leicester. I'm going to try and get the orientation as best as I can. Where is, I've lost Nuneaton again. There it is. It's because Birmingham's showing on open rail to the left. It's really confusing me. And Nuneaton's a little bit closer than you think. In fact, what it is because Nuneaton should be about here, and that's what's thrown me. And it's not. Nuneaton's more with Birmingham International, and Nuneaton should be about up here somewhere. But it is what it is. So we're going to put Leicester around about here, so we can get some better orientation in. And we're gonna, if we're facing that way, we're coming in this way. Okay, yeah. So we need to face the station a little bit to the right. I'm gonna sort of stick. I'm gonna obviously remove all these trees and flatten the land a little bit, which we will do now. So we're gonna spend even more money. We're gonna leave the game paused. We're gonna level off, find a nice leveler for the terrain here. I'm thinking as close to the water as we can, and just. I can do the rest of this when I start detailing a later episode, but we just want to get this nice and smooth so we can get a nice bit of building work in. Let's just flatten all this. Let's just get rid of it. Obviously, we'll get rid of all these trees as well. We'll just get a nice, smooth area to work with so we can get our station in nicely. And I also wanted to ever so slightly, what I can get away with before we hit water is I also wanted to submerge the station a little bit, only because we've got some nice sort of bridges going over it, and I don't want the bridges either side of the station and the railway track to be too like ugly and awkward looking. I don't want the the slopes from the road bridges to be ugly and awkward looking. So what I am going to do, just to smooth this, what I am going to do is I am going to we're going to pop this about here. I am going to submerge the station. So let's take a look at Leicester. Leicester has got quite a bit of curvature to it, but we're going to use, I think we are going to go with, that's quite an old looking platform. I'm actually tempted to use the GWR in the old style. Now this station is one that side, one. Okay. So this station, we're going to go 240, I think. We go 320. It's quite long. Quite long. And we're going to go with 1 to start with, because I'm going to make these platforms a little bit bigger, like this. Catenary, no. High speed, yes. And can I choose the date of these? Because I don't want that. Can I choose the date, or do I have to completely change the platform? Right, we'll start. We'll get it down. We'll get it down. Right, where are we? Where's Nonita's there? So we want to be kind of about there, about here. Do we go 240? Do we go 320? Should we go 320 and make this a nice big busy station? Yeah, let's do that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll do that. Right. Configure. Let's delete these. So I'm going to make this. It's quite an old looking sort of station from the top. It's got quite a like, pale color to it. So what we're going to do, what shall we do with this station? Let's go into our, where is it? It's in platforms. And I want to, let's go for the 1850s to 1947 GWR. Let's go with those. Why not? Mix it up a little bit like that. And then we have to delete this back. The track can stay because that's about in the right place. And what I'm going to try and do now is, once I've built this, is I try and forget about my surroundings, and I just want to concentrate on getting this right, because the rest of it will go okay on its own. And then we're going to fill that in, and we're going to have it nice and wide. A nice wide entry for our platforms, like so. And then we've got, what we got now, 2 in the middle. We need to go to tracks, high speed, no catenary, straight down here. Nice. And then our platforms again. Very nice. I should really play with the assets a little bit with this as well, because I know, like, I've seen people in the past where you can go to the asset manager and you can make these sort of, you know, pointy at the ends, which would be quite nice to do. So maybe we'll look at doing that. Oh, we've got a nice, and then we have another set of tracks. We've got a nice sort of overpass near the car park here. That'd be quite cool to add in. We'll have to use the invisible platform mod to try and get that on there, I think. We'll have a try. We'll see what we can do. Right, so that's basically our platform. Obviously, the station is curved, but we're not going to be working with any curved stations, so I need to get out of this. We're going to do it in a straight way. So we have high speed, no catenary. So we have 1... right up against it, like so. I think that ends right there. Yep. And then we have 1 and 2 that come out around about. 1 finishes at, I mean, they're looking a bit, should we use, right, that one can stay pretty fresh, I think. And then we're going to go to the ball. We're going to use our disused, but we're going to have disused with ends. There we go. Yep, lovely. Then we're going to have you coming into there. And then, does that one come out of that one? Let's have a look. No, it doesn't. It comes straight, shares the exit. So we're going to Oh, that's not going to work like that, is it? It's going to be a pain in the butt. Maybe there. We'll have you there. That's fine. And then let's have a look at where this one ends. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. So you can go a little bit further and just top out. Go straight. You're going to be a pain in the bum. You are. There. There. Like so. And then another nice short one around about here. And what we can do is we can just wrap that into there. We can add some assets there. Now, what I need to do around this is just bring this in. We're going to use normal... Oh, no, wrong one. I'm going to wrap that there. And I'm going to do... What I might do with this is I might actually add... I'm not sure if how often this gets used. No, we're not. We're just going to have it as normal track. Sorry, I'm mumbling off to myself there. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Right, let's bring out these tracks. So we need to go back to high speed. Out. Out. We're facing that way, so you start bending down, actually, as you come out. So let's do that now. Let's create that orientation. So you start sort of bending away like so. Like so. Because we're going to have to do this a lot in stages. And then you come around like that. Zoom in. Sorry, I need to zoom in. Just look at this switch this side, because this is where it gets a bit interesting. You come there. You just feed in on your own. Okay. Do you a bit shorter, because I've got a feeling that I might need a little bit more space. Yeah, you come out. I hate that. I really do not like when that wraps that close. So what I'm going to do... Going to bring you... I just don't like the shape the game creates. I don't like it when it sort of proper butts up against this. It just doesn't look very nice. So what I generally try to do is if I press C, bring this out a little bit straighter, buy myself a little bit more... No, that's not enough. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. Just to create so it doesn't look so uniform. A little bit more natural. That goes into there. And then the one on the outside... is the one that wraps around. Let's carry on bending this round. And then we have another track here, which then wraps. Oh. Then should wrap next to that like so. But then I want you to come out a little bit just there. Nice. Looks all right, doesn't it? Nice bit of track work there. And then we have a couple of switches. We have a switch just about here. Nice. So, what do we have here then? This is a bit interesting. So, I want to get... because we got a nice bit of track that wraps around. Some sort of bypass. Wraps around. And then goes into the services at the other end. So, we're going to send this straight out on the level. Then you come out and just line up alongside. And then you come out and actually just pop into there. Is that right? Yep, you pop into there. And then we can do carry on. Like that. And then we have our fourth track here. So I'm going to base this all on this and here, and then wrap around about there, and then we should create this nice natural lovely bend. And then just about midway through here we have this happen. We also have a switch there. Like there, and then you sort of start breaking away here, and then I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna We're into there. Lovely jubbly. And that is where our sidings start there. And it starts getting a bit interesting. Yeah, so this carries on nice and straight. There's 4. This one carries on all the way down alongside and then ends a little bit further on, just for a little bit of reference there. And then if we do this here, 1, 2, it's kind of just underneath the bridge where this switch goes. There and where, there and where, ladies and gentlemen, there and where. And then there. Then I can sort of plug in some end bits on that. That was actually pretty easy. That was actually pretty nice. So what we have is a number of switches that kind of bend off here. Is that after or before that? That's just, it's after that. And yeah, there. So if we can do that, and we can just bend off that about there, then I can put in 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4. I'll put them in now. What do I use actually? Do you know what I want to use on this? Number of tracks 4. We'll go 120, 160 to be on the safe side. Gaps like that. No catenary, and I'm going to go with the London. They're kind of surrounded by a bit of concrete, so we're going to try with the old London overground style, not with the gravel. No gravel. This one, I do. And we're going to pop you about there, because then I can work with that. And we're just gonna hook you up. That's a little bit ugly, isn't it? There we go. Hook you up like so. There we are. Nice. Smooth. That's pretty good. And then we've got a couple of buildings, a couple of end bits. There's a few little bits and bobs there I can sort of do. I can maybe even put another bit of track in here and do that little. There's a little shed, bit of car park, bit of warehouse building. Then there's an assets. I'll stick an asset on the end of this track here just to make it look a bit busier. Some sort of diesel locomotive that carries on there. Then there's a road and bridge. That's about it for that. I just need to look at the switches coming out. So we have a switch. Let's work from right to left. We have a switch here. A switch then here. And then another switch. Just extend this out a little bit further. Just to remind me. Is that straight? No, of course it's not, Julian. There we go. Another switch back up there. And then a bit later on, there's another switch there, which I can sort out during the detailing, but that's the majority of the switches we need that side. And I think when we're curving away from this, switch down, and that's that. Yeah, that is it. That is Leicester. So let's make this station a little bit more interesting. Let's go to Google Maps again, zoom down. Let's see if we can put the road connections in and the buildings in. So it's pretty much all covered. And because the buildings are on this side, on the outside, I'm really not sure how I'm going to do this. I think what I'm going to do... So what I'm thinking is what we might do is if I go to platforms here. Go to this... Can I not use this? Does this not have ends though? If I do 1, 2, 1, 2, can I not make this any longer? Is that the width? Is that the maximum width I'm going to get out of this? It is. Okay, fair enough. And then we'll just delete these two. Can I not block that off somehow? Oh, I'll work it out. I just want to get we'll get the basics in. If I get the basics in. Passenger buildings. Can I not go any deeper than that? Oh, that's not going to be very nice, is it? Okay, maybe we'll do this then. Like so, and then I'll do passenger buildings. Quite a modern... It's not really modern, is it? What is that? Can't really see. It's kind of massive building. And then it's got a big glass sort of overhead near a road bridge. I don't really know what to do with this, to be honest. That's not very nice. No. It's more... No, I'm not putting that in there. That's ugly. I'm going to have to put a temporary building in and have a little think about it, I think. I'm not really sure. It's kind of got a building that looks a little bit like these German ones right on the end here. So maybe if I stick that in there, and then we work with that from sort of onwards. And if I do some large side buildings or some, yeah, we'll do this. Like so. We'll work with that, and then I can put the bridge in. I'm not sure how I'm gonna. That's not gonna. That's. We'll put the bridge in with the bus stop overhead because there's a big bus stop on the bridge, and then I'm not sure what we're gonna do with that. To be honest, we're gonna have to do some sort of walkway up, I think. Right, let's just get the station done, shall we? So we need covered. We're not gonna get covered. There's distinct lack of sort of covered crossings here on this, so we might have to go very, very classical here instead. We might have to go like this. Is that even the right one? 948. That's the right one, isn't it? They're going to change the color of this? Yes, it is. Wrong one. Must be this one then. Yeah. So we're gonna go like this, I think, and then the other way. Like so, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the end here. I might have to do something like right on the end. If we go here, 1 2 1 2, and then go platform. Here, and then do misc. Is it misc? I swear there was in misc for this. There we go. You can do that into the car park. Let's have that facing that way, like that, just for a little bit difference. I think that's the best we're gonna do. So we've got the car park access, then the main station access, and I'm gonna have to just jerry rig some sort of interesting bridge here with the road, and then there's a big glass building. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. At least that's in place. Let's put some roof on this, shall we? Here, 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 here. I want that on the end there, do I? No, just want that there, 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 and there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And that, we'll put that there, will be about it, I think. At least the layout's right. The layout's right. I'm just a bit limited on the old building sort of styles. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of the, obviously, like the construction and the architecture, you're just never going to replicate in the game, I guess. And that's as close as you're going to get it. So what we've got here, we've got like our access to our car park, and then we've got an access to sort of like a big building. And I'm assuming people walk through that building and up because this looks all raised around it. Like everything looks kind of raised. Like, so this street level, it drops down a little bit, but not too much. And you've got sort of buildings all around it. So we'll work it out in our own little way and see what we can do. The reason why I did Leicester here is because I needed orientation. I needed where Nuneaton meets Nuneaton West, where Nuneaton meets Leicester to a certain extent, as the lines all sort of converge. You've got the sort of, it's almost like a grid system here. I wanted to get some orientation to see how far I had to take this Midland main line up before that also splits off, and get the other junctions in to see how far to the right what we could use here as well. So it's kind of doing a little bit of both. So I felt Leicester was a good sort of starting point for me to go back down, work my way back down south again. When we first did like the West Coast main line, it was quite easy because I could just make my way up now. But now I have reference points with Nuneaton, Northampton, etc., Rugby, etc. I have reference points where I need to meet sort of a grid system almost, and you know, where the tracks meet. It's really good for me to get sort of good reference point stations in, or slightly more major stations in, give me a better orientation of the amount of space I've got to the amount of things that I can fit into the map. That's kind of why I did it today. So it was a little bit different. It was quite interesting, actually. It was quite a nice station to build, although I'm going to be really, really frustrated about how I'm going to get all this connected. But in terms of platform layout, it's pretty much dead on. We've got some sidings, which is really good because I can stick some, you know, train assets on these. We can stick some train assets on these here. I'm not, you know, we'll see if we can make use of this. We'll work out what's going on there. I'll have a good old research, good old gander on the old Google, see what's actually going on, if we can use any of this. And we have a nice, decent distance for some more trains to travel as well. I need to work out as we work back down as well when it transitions from non-electrical. I'm assuming it's one of the junction. I'm assuming it's the junction just after Kettering that I think it swings off to the right maybe, and to the left is different. One's electric, one's not. And I'm assuming some trains terminate at X point as well, that have come out of London, but I can't quite remember. That's something I'm just gonna have a look at. But anyway, yes, Leicester City. That's because I'm too used to football. Leicester Station is in. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We've also got... This will also be out, obviously, on early access. You know that if you've watched it. If you haven't watched it. What I do with these episodes is I put them on Patreon and members-only access on YouTube for about a week beforehand, so you guys get it early. And then after about a week, I just release it to the public. On a plus side, also coming soon to Patreon, I'm going to start doing some few tutorials on Transport Fever 2. I know that you see me build a lot, but you don't... I never really explain the reasons why, especially in my own builds as well, like what I've taken from real life sort of situations and how I sort of modify them a little bit, and how some of the junctions work and the reason why they're like that. And I thought I could probably do a little, nothing too intense. I'm not going to make any promises to myself because I'm not sure how much content there is there for that. But I thought we'll test the waters. So I am going to put on Patreon and YouTube members only, and they're going to stay like that forever. A few tutorials, so a few explanations more rather than tutorials about why I do it. So I'll sit down, I'll pick a junction, and I'll explain kind of my view and the way I see it and the reason why it works like that versus maybe how we would normally do it in game. And then show you how I would also take advantage of that junction and make it even more interesting, or make it expand on it and make use of that flowing system on that. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do anyway. That's what I've got written down and some notes I've made for myself. And I'm blabbering on now, and I apologize. Don't forget to check out the hats. I've got woolly hats for Christmas. It's getting cold. Just below this video, you can click my store. Help yourself. Every sort of purchase you make obviously helps me out, so I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.